I see the cold mist in the night and watch the hills roll out of sight.
Hey guys, Youngblood Fantasy 92 here. Today we're going to discuss the touchy subject of e-drama. That's right, e-drama, one of the most useless things on the internet to date. E-drama can be started anyhow, anyway, anywhere. And in fact, e-drama can be started by even the most frivolous, trivial, and stupidest reasons I have ever heard. In fact, e-drama can be started by almost anything, not to mention for any reason whatsoever. I mean, if you were going to argue about who's your favorite Final Fantasy character, Sephiroth or Sora, pretty soon there's going to be a whole dramatic build-up because of this. I like Sora better. No, I like Sephiroth better. And then they're going to start this huge fight because there was a difference of opinion, and everyone agrees with me but this one guy. I'm going to make a big deal about this and start this drama. Rage. And then it'll just become a competition for attention, because after the person has been maligned, apparently, he or she calls on all their friends and gathers attention because she wants all the attention to herself when she finds out that her friend doesn't agree with her. And then they start this huge bitch fight, and pretty soon then they're going to call on all their friends to give them support. And after many comments later of them saying, I'm sorry this happened, you're going to get better, then they become, sort of emo-esque and just, hide themselves from the world and become like, I don't feel like doing anything anymore. And sometimes dramas can become like civil wars, or should I say Austro-Prussian wars, because they're started for no reason. It's just weeks and weeks of them yelling at each other incoherently and without relent, and in the end, nobody wins. Sometimes at the end of a drama war, people are declared to be either winners or losers. Nobody wins. It's like the Battle of Antietam. There's no victory to be made, except that much blood was leaked. That's pretty much it. And the people who win, the only reason they're considered winners is because they were being stubborn, and because they think they're always right, and just because the other side conceded because they didn't want to argue with them anymore. That doesn't reverse everyone's depression. It doesn't reverse everyone's discord, everyone's, abuse. It doesn't reverse anything. It just ends. So either way, you lose. And that's why e-drama is useless, because it spreads like forest fire. It destroys everything, and when the fire is done, you just see an aftermath, because nobody wins or loses. The firemen may have conquered the fire, but there's still the remaining ashes that people can't get rid of, because for no reason, someone decided to start a fire. And you see the aftermath. It will probably take years for that section to be rebuilt, and it's just stupid. It's a war that nobody wins. Victory is in the eyes of the fool who thinks they're going to win. It's all folly. Now, I'm going to relate this to historical evidence. Now, bear with me here. Don't fall asleep, because it has a striking parallel, so bear with me. So, back in the late 19th century, there was a nice man, well, not really nice, but there was a man named Otto von Bismarck, and he was a smart man. Bismarck, who was the leader of Prussia, or the Chancellor of Prussia, decided that he wanted to unify all of Prussia because the Prussian states were everywhere, and, we need to unify Prussia. So Bismarck figures out that their biggest enemies are France and Austria. So Bismarck says, let's go after Austria first. Now, he learns that Austria has territories in Denmark. He makes a big deal about it and tells Austria, why do you have territories in Denmark? It's our territory, not yours. You're so stupid. And Austria gets pissed. So then, Prussia then just complains at Austria, and then Austria declares war on Prussia. Not joking. It's the Austro-Prussian War of 1866. Lots of people die, lots of bloodshed. 7 weeks later, Austria gets pwned by Prussia. And we're not done yet. Then, about 3 or 4 years later, Bismarck decides to attack France. So here's what he does. He intercepts a telegram that was supposed to be sent to France. He modifies the telegram and it makes it seem like he's making fun of the French monarch. When the French get this, they're enraged, and then they find out that Prussia messed with the letter. So what do? They declare war on Prussia in 1870. 7 weeks later, France gets pwned by Prussia. And by 1871, Prussia unifies to form Germany. So what's the lesson in all this? What's the moral of the story? Well, reacting hastily and with a vengeance for no good reason over the smallest things can cause irreversible damage. Do you know what happened to France and Austria? They got their asses handed to them, even though their armies were experienced, huge to say the least. They got their asses handed to them because they were hasty and they didn't think out their plan. All they did was attack, and that's it. And France and Austria got severely crippled as a result. And because of this, Bismarck gained an edge and formed Germany because of his complaining and his whining, which wasn't really real. He made Germany. And for the people who are on the internet who start e-drama all the time, unless you're Otto von Bismarck, unless you know how to gain territories in Europe, and unless you know the true meanings of realpolitik, then I suggest you don't do e-drama because it leads you nowhere. It leads you nowhere. And the trolls have a field day with this because they love drama. They thrive on drama. When someone makes a big deal about something, they get attacked by trolls. So basically, the mindset is, attacking the troll back will let them leave me alone, because my points are always right. So what do? They attack a troll, and then the troll has more reasons to attack them. And it's ridiculous. It's making themselves targets. That's it. The people who create drama just become artificial targets, and that's just sad, to say the least. And here are my thoughts on e-drama. You don't get a pot of gold if you win an e-drama war. There's no money to be had. There's no territory to be gained. There's no monetary value that you can receive. You get nothing. If you win, that's it. You're done. End of story. Nothing's going to change after that. Your friends will all be, permanently harmed because of this, or should I say permanently pissed off at you. You become a target for other people who criticize. You become a target for trolls, and because you've made a big deal out of nothing, you're going to become ostracized by YouTube, and it's all your fault. The operative word is you. You caused the drama. It's all your fault. There's no point in e-drama. It's pointless, it's stupid, it's caused for all the wrong reasons, it spreads like forest fire, and you're starting the fire. It's your own goddamn fault. Don't start an Austro-Prussian war on the internet, because either you'll be severely pwned or you won't get what you want. Because you can't always get what you want. You just can't. That's the end of the line. So to those of you who start e-drama all the time, think before you act. Just debate it reasonably, like reasonable people, and don't act immature. If you want to be immature and start these flame wars, then e-drama is the way to go. But I suggest you don't do it because it's pointless. It really is. Don't start a World War I on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Youngblood Fantasy 92, and I'll see you next time.